is waking up. It's a fast-growing, bustling community in LA County. Aeromexico Flight 498's flight path takes it right over Cerritos on its way to Los Angeles International Airport. First Officer Jose Valencia is piloting this leg of the journey. Captain Antonio Valdez-Prom navigates. Down below in the tower, Air Traffic Controller Walter White gets his first call from Aeromexico Flight 498.
First approach. Good morning. This is Aeromexico 498. Aeromexico 498, Los Angeles approach. 25 left. Final approach course. Los Angeles approach. Good morning. This is Aeromexico.
Flight 498 is now officially inside what's known as the Terminal Control Area, or TCA.
It's restricted airspace that's normally found around heavily congested airports or hub airports where the traffic density is extremely high and you need to control the access into and out of that airspace.
What's the speed you want? We're reducing to 290. No. Okay, you can hold what you have, sir.
As the crew of Flight 498 flies over Cerritos,
Seatbelts, airspeed.
their DC-9 is rocked by a violent jolt. On the ground, Cerritos residents watch in horror as the DC-9 nosedives into a quiet neighborhood.
I think I lost one. Aeromexico 498, Los Angeles approach.
Local emergency crews arrive on the scene within minutes.
As we approached, I realized that in addition to the aircraft parts in the street, there were people, body parts. As I surveyed the houses and the crash site around me, it was a very surreal experience to stand right there for probably 4 or 5 minutes before anybody else showed up. And I see another living soul.
Oh gosh. This neighborhood has just been devastated just for rent.
16 houses have been damaged, many completely destroyed. All the passengers and crew on Aeromexico Flight 498 are dead, as well as 15 people on the ground. As emergency crews grapple with the horrifying situation. Emergency workers in a different part of Cerritos are shocked by another grisly discovery. In the playground of a local school, they find the wreckage of a Piper Cherokee Archer and the bodies of its 3 passengers. The 2 crashes must be connected, but how? Investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board arrive in Cerritos that night. Proof of a collision between the 2 aircraft comes quickly. There are propeller marks and paint from the Piper Cherokee on the tail of the DC-9.
It looks like the Piper collided at the tail section of the DC-9 and the horizontal stabilizer came off. And once that happened, you could no longer control the pitch of the DC-9.
The wreckage reveals that the DC-9 and the Cherokee collided at a 90-degree angle. The impact tore off the airliner's tail section, causing the nosedive. The cause of the crash is clear, but investigators must now solve a deeper mystery. How did did the aircraft get close enough to collide? In the wake of the Aeromexico crash in Cerritos, California, investigators turned to the DC-9's flight data recorder to find out why it was clipped by a Piper Cherokee. They discover the Aeromexico flight was exactly where it should have been. Inside the terminal control area. But no one gave the Cherokee authorization to fly into the TCA.
The fact of the matter is, the Cherokee flew into the TCA and hit the DC-9 in restricted airspace without a clearance.
How did the Cherokee end up in the TCA? Walter White, the air traffic controller on duty, should have been able to see it on his radar. Richard Wentworth was one of the investigators who interviewed the controller.
At any time, did you see the Piper Cherokee on your scope?
No. No, sir. Piper's target was not displayed.
While the radar data is being analyzed, investigators learned that the Cherokee's pilot, William Kramer, like most private pilots, was navigating by landmarks such as freeways.
That's definitely 405. Where is it again?
Perhaps confused by the tangle of freeways below him, Kramer may have flown into the terminal control area without knowing it.
There are no lines on the ground that says the TCA starts here and at this altitude.
But investigators still need to know why the air traffic controller failed to keep the two planes apart.
Hey, Carl, let's go.
They hear from controllers from Los Angeles Airport who have described problems with their equipment.
We have reported problems with the radar not picking up targets several times.
It's a terrifying theory. Was the disaster in Cerritos caused by failing technology? Investigators pore over radar data from Los Angeles Airport traffic control, hoping to answer that question. When radar signals strike a target, they bounce back to the receiver. But if buildings or mountains interrupt the radar, the return signal can disappear.
We reviewed that data. We had no evidence that there were any malfunctions of any systems in Los Angeles.
But investigators do discover the controller was simultaneously handling another small plane, a Grumman Tiger.
There was an aircraft that was east of the airport which he became involved in.
Okay, you're right in the middle of the TCA, sir.
Grumman 66 Romeo is the in future you locate your TCA chart.
The problem with the conversation between the controller and the pilot of the Grumman is that it went on too long. Why were you so mesmerized by the Grumman?
I thought he posed a risk.
This occurred during a critical time at which the Aeromexico and the Cherokee were merging.
Investigators believe that the controller's divided attention, perhaps made worse by the limitations of an older radar system, is the reason why he didn't warn the DC-9 about the approaching Cherokee.
And see if you can find any landmarks that we might be able to use as a visual.
They suspect that the Cherokee's pilot was searching for landmarks on the ground,
I just want a visual landmark that I can see.
while the DC-9 was approaching from the other direction. In addition, NTSB investigators also believe the DC-9's busy flight crew may have missed spotting the Cherokee because of its small size.
It's possible that during part of the approach, the aircraft was actually behind the center post, and unless the pilot moved his head back and forth to clear that airspace, it's possible the aircraft was obscured.
The NTSB report reveals several tragic weaknesses in the air traffic control system. Chief among them, pilots cannot be relied upon to see and avoid each other. It recommends improvements that are still in place to this day. The Federal Aviation Administration, which regulates the United States airline industry, reacts swiftly. A new system for radar facilities called Mode C Intruder is designed to aid air traffic controllers.
If an aircraft should inadvertently intrude, the controller will now be given a visual and an oral alert, thus giving him time to provide a timely warning to the pilot.
In addition, an early warning system for pilots called Traffic Collision and Avoidance, or TCAS, is also developed. TCAS alerts pilots almost a minute before a potential collision, instructing them to climb or descend to avoid the approaching aircraft. Within a year, the old radars at Los Angeles Airport were replaced.
Whenever you've got an airplane falling out of the sky and hitting a civilian community, that is doubly frightening. It's one thing to just be reactive to a crash. It's another thing when the crash has just rained death from the air.